and demanding the longest run stand.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm glad to have you with us for NBA basketball. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be the Indiana Pacers up against Jrue Holiday and the Philadelphia 76ers. And that's it for us in the studio. To call all the action, let's go out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll see you again at halftime.
Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. The Philadelphia 76ers preparing to defend home court in this Eastern Conference battle. Now we've got a chance for our State Farm starting lineups. And guys, taking a look at Paul George, what will we see from him?
Well, he's an exciting young player. Almost 6'10", great athleticism, length. Dynamic finisher at the rim, and he can guard multiple positions defensively.
And you know what, Steve? His growth defensively has been just as impressive. He uses that length to great advantage, contesting shots and coming away with deflections and steals.
Hill against Holiday. And Turner kicks to Bynum. And that one's drained from the low block. Bynum's got the opening field goal of the game for the 76ers.
You know, most great teams are really built around one or two stars and then some role players surrounding that core. But the Sixers are different. They don't have a superstar. So they've played the last few years with a group of young guys who are athletic, who play together, who defend, and they try to get out and run. So for the most part, it's been pretty successful. But again, it's so tough to win in this league at a high level without a star.
And Holiday kicks to Richardson. From outside, off the mark.
You know, when he has the ball outside like that, that's exactly the kind of D they need to play on.
Outside Hill. And there's the 3-second violation. And there are a group of teams that have found success, Steve, like that. You know, you can point at teams like, say, Memphis and the Indiana Pacers. Clark, you know them. And certainly, Clark, the 76ers along that same vein.
You know, Kevin, as Steve said, it's hard to win without a star, and you wonder if Philly will eventually shake things up to bring somebody in of that level. But I'm not quite sold on the fact that you can't do it at a high level with really good, cohesive players. And much like the Sixers, Grizzlies, Pacers, those teams have good young players, and I think they can be championship contenders if they keep developing.
The shot by George, no good.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, I spoke with the head coach of the Pacers. He told me it's definitely a challenge trying to score against one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. He said, we know nothing's going to come easy out there, but we also have confidence we can still find a way to get it done. We just have to trust our sets, trust each other, and come out swinging, and we'll be all right. Kevin, we'll see how it plays.
Thank you, Doris, and quite a focus for the game here early on, and an important one too, guys.
Yeah, and they know how tough a task it's going to be to take on this defense. They've got to focus on that aspect right away.
Well, that's the priority in the scouting report. You face a team this good defensively, you're thinking about how we need to attack it. And then it's a matter of executing once you get out there.
Here's Young, and that's the devastating one-handed jam.
He spoke loud on making a statement that play.
Yeah, that was brute force, battling for the offensive board, then taking it right back up there.
That's just all about strength and energy, guys.
Now, here is Hill. And good on the basket. Book it. Hill's got his second basket.
Right, you look at Frank Vogel of the Pacers, young guy, a lot of energy, and really emphasizes toughness and kind of a smash-mouth style that his team has really embraced.
Shot from free throw range. Young's shot is off.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Wing shot on the way. Jason Richardson pulls it in. You talk about that tough style that Coach Vogel has emphasized. The Pacers have the size and, you know, Steve, the physicality inside to really deliver on that style of play.
Yeah, they've got a swagger about them, and obviously some talent, too, with guys like Hibbert and David West. So I like the way Vogel has really sort of rubbed off on this team. His personality has become their personality, and they've become one of the better defensive clubs in the league.
And you really don't want to give up too many dunks like that. One is too many.
Oh, yeah, no, certainly you're right. You know, that's making it way too easy for sure.
Yeah, major breakdown defensively. They've got to tighten things up here.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Spencer Hawes is checked in for Bynum. Wright comes in for Evan Turner. And Nick Young is subbed in for Jason Richardson. Pacers trail by 6.
You know, the Pacers as a franchise had a slow start when they joined the NBA in the mid-'70s, but from the 90s until today, Kevin, they've been a pretty consistent presence in the playoffs.
Now here is Holiday. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. And that one's good. There's 53 seconds left in the first. And here's Augustine. Pendergraph in the post. He's against Hawes. Now here is Augustine. Guarded by Holiday. Clock at 4. Pendergraph. Second shot opportunity. Kicks it out to Granger. Beyond the arc. Good! Granger's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. The 76ers leading by 5. Young with the ball. Outside Holiday. That's blocked. And so the first quarter is in the books. 76ers lead by 5. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And looking at what we've seen from the 76ers, what do you guys think?
And it's been beautiful basketball to watch, guys. Really sharing and moving the ball, and as a result, they've got a great flow going.
Hand in glove, 5 guys working as one. The power of the fist, we call it. They've racked up a bunch of assists.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for Indiana, we've got West, George Hill out there with Lance Stevenson. Then it's Paul George, and it's Hansbrough in at the 4 spot. And here is Wright. George Hill getting it to go from deep. And Wright kicks to Turner. Over Hill. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, when you think about Evan Turner, you think about the ball handling, the passing, the rebounding. Second overall pick back in 2010. He's really worked at his shot, too. That's been his only weakness as a pro. But that's gotten better, and I think as you watch him develop over the next few years, it will improve dramatically.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for Bynum. Richardson comes in for Nick Young. And it's Holiday in for Jarrell Wright. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, guys, Pacers center Roy Hibbert has trained with Tim Duncan over the last few off seasons, and they've become friends. They stay in touch, and Duncan even offered him advice and encouragement when the Pacers were in the playoffs. Hibbert said, "I had a roller coaster first 3 years in terms of my career. Tim doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. I model my game after him. He's somebody who looks out for me." Guys, always great to see a star take a young man under his wing.
Well, hard to think of a better mentor for Roy than the great Tim Duncan. Thanks, Doris. And for Turner, the good news offensively is he's pretty good finishing close to the basket.
Yeah, his ball handling is tight. He's got a nice rush hour handle to him. He's got a good work ethic. He's a perfectionist, sometimes to a fault, but you like the fact that he cares and wants to be good and wants to win. His shooting form has been revamped, and he'll continue to get better there. So I think he's going to be really an outstanding pro for a long time.
Now here is Holiday, looking for his first bucket of the game. There's the dish to Turner. Over George. Excellent D there from George. And that's a foul. Called on Spencer Hawes. That is his first foul of the game. Darrell Wright's checked in for the 76ers. Young comes in for Jason Richardson. Jeff Pendergraft's checking in for Indiana. Hansbrough comes in for Danny Granger. Now here is Augustine. Trains it from beyond the arc. Augustine's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Well, you talk about the teams that are on the rise in the East, and you have to take a good, strong look at what the Pacers have done. A big reason for their resurgence is how well they play in the Eastern Conference, but also they've got some young, talented players that continue to get better.
Here's Young. The rebound by Hansbrough. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Augustine against Holiday. Augustine dishes to Stevenson. Over Young. Stevenson can't hit. Thinking the Pacers, you know, Steve, you don't end up as the third seed in your conference unless you're beating your peers.
Yeah, 29 wins for them against the other Eastern Conference teams, and they've made it clear they're going to be a force for the foreseeable future. They've got a really nice, strong young roster.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Andrew Bynum's checked in for Hawes, and it's Turner in for Drew Holiday. Indiana also making some changes. David West, he's checked in for Hansbrough, and George Hill's subbed in for Augustine. Now, here is George, still looking to get on the scoreboard. Right side, George. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
Kevin, nice high percentage look right there.
The 76ers leading. And Turner kicks to Young. Steps back and fires. Hill pulls it in. The Pacers have gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Stevenson passes to Hill. He passes to Stevenson. There's 47 seconds left here in the second. Can't hit, so Philadelphia will take it the other way.
I'd like to see a 2-for-1 situation here, Clark.
I agree. I think it's always good to give yourself that last shot.
Right with it. George picks him up. Here's Young, using his post move to get the 2 points. Young's got 4 this quarter. Pacers trail by 4. Outside Hill. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here is Stevenson, defended by Young. Indiana needs to get a shot off, and it's sent back by Bynum. They recover it. He got it up. No good on the buzzer beater. And the first half ends in a close one. 76ers ahead, leading by 4. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Hello and welcome. We've got a great one underway at Wells Fargo Center. For the Philadelphia 76ers, they have the lead against Indiana. They're really working that ball around, doing a nice job keeping the D off balance. Some great work out there by Jay Rich. His shooting percentage hovering right around 50%. It's awfully good, heads or tails. And no shortage of desire from the Pacers side of things. And defensively, they've done a good job grabbing rebounds, limiting second chances. George Hill making the most of his minutes. They've got some great production out of Danny Granger as well. And that'll be it for us here. Thanks so much for joining me. Now it's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. We hope to see you around next time.
And welcome back as we see the bronze statue of William Penn atop the Philadelphia City Hall. You look at George Hill, he's really been playing well.
Now, it's been nothing but positive for this team. The way he's been really selective with his shot making, he's been very unselfish. I think this has been an efficient performance for him.
I agree with you, Steve. Very few questionable decisions, if any, from him, as he has always looked for the best shot every trip down the floor. I mean, I like the fact that he's judicious in his approach.
Holiday out there with Richardson. Then it's Evan Turner. Then it's Young. And it's Bynum in at the center, filling out the middle. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doug Collins. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Hi, right, Kevin. Well, as you know, Coach Doug Collins has engineered a remarkable turnaround defensively in Philadelphia over the last 2 years, going from the 23rd worst defense back in 2010 to the 3rd-ranked defense last season. The Sixers' defensive philosophy is simple, based around keeping offenses shooting contested two-point jump shots. Collins says, quote, "At the end of the day, you'll get beat in the paint, you'll get beat with fast break points, and you'll get beat behind the three-point line. But we just don't feel like teams are going to beat you making contested two-point shots. Sometimes it might look like, man, that guy is really open. Why didn't someone rotate to him? Well, we'd much rather give a guy a long two rather than rotate over so they can make a pass to a guy for an open three." Makes sense, Kevin.
You bet. Thank you, Doris.
Well, that's a quality look there. The defense a bit late.
And 2 straight now from long range, putting up points in a hurry, Clark. Boy, how about the roller coaster ride for the Sixers last year, guys? They started out so hot, looked like they were going to control the Atlantic Division and maybe even be one of the top seeds in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Then they just totally collapsed down the stretch.
Now here is Holiday, looking for his first bucket of the game. Young outside. Back to Holiday. Feeds it to Bynum. 76ers moving the ball around. Here's Turner. The kick out to Holiday. Turner, he dishes it to Richardson. Over Hibbert. Richardson, no luck.
Yeah, just 1 for 4 here in the 3rd quarter, so a very slow start for this club.
Steve, we're talking about the 76ers last year. They had a brutal month of February with some of the best teams in the NBA going into Philadelphia, playing on the Sixers' home floor. So I think, Clark, that probably slowed them down. They had some searching there among themselves. Oh,
look out!
All business there, not messing around one bit. Flushed it right with one hand.
He never does, Clark. He never does.
Well, that's kind of his trademark, those slams like that one.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Sprite. And Holiday kicks to Bynum. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
The one-handed flush, very nice.
And a nice strong finish there.
Punched it home.
And the 76ers with some changes. Pause comes in for Andrew Bynum. And Nick Young is subbed in for Jason Richardson.
Well, there's never been any question about the potential of Andrew Bynum. Got great skills down on the block, can block shots at the defensive end of the floor. The question mark really is his health. He's had to battle knee injuries throughout his career.
From deep, George, and the Pacers another 3.
He's going to take that shot every time if he has that much room to get it off.
3rd quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
You cannot afford to make mistakes like that here in a tight game.
Andrew Bynum's checked in for the 76ers. Richardson comes in for Epic.
Oh, ridiculous.
What a move.
Tore it down that time. Did you see that?
Oh, we got to see that one again, guys. We've got to see that again.
I need a replay. I'm not sure what I just looked at.
Richardson kicks to Bynum. Holiday kicks it to Young. Top of the key. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got his 8th assist in the game. Hill with it. And Holiday picks him up defensively. Hill dishes to George. And Young comes over to help. Granger kicks to George. And stolen by Richardson. Pass to Holiday. Over Hill. Hill with some nice D. Indiana leading. Back to George. 29 seconds left in the 3rd. And Hansbrough kicks to Stevenson. Poked loose. Clock at 6. George passes to Granger. Back to George. Fades. Kicks it out to Granger. The 3. Count the bucket. Granger's got 6.
Boy, they have just gone crazy from three-point range since coming out of the halftime break.
Boy, it's been 1 3 after another, Steve, an absolute barrage.
And we've watched 3 so far. So as we get rolling here in the fourth quarter, let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for our Sprite Uncontainable Game. Doris?
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Pacers put together, they get the Uncontainable Game Award. It took them until the third period to really find their groove, but once they did, they ran with it and never looked back. A great surge by them, they hope to carry to the end of the game.
All right, Doris, thanks. And the run Doris mentioned, guys, that was really a huge game changer here.
No question, Kevin. Probably the pivotal moment in the game so far, and I thought that really set the tone.
You know, one of the things that was interesting to me is you could see the body language of both teams change at that point. Obviously in different directions, confident and assured on one side and a bit of chin in your chest on the other side.
And so in the game for the Pacers, the front line, Danny Granger, David West, and Roy Hibbert. And Stevenson is out there with George Hill. And here are the Pacers now. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. There's the three. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Young's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
You know, guys, you look at it, one turnover in the game, sometimes that can get overlooked. But I think it shows how well he's playing. I mean, he's really making the most of every possession.
And the 76ers with some changes. Andrew Bynum's checked in for Hawes. And Nick Young is subbed in for Jason Richardson. Tyler Hansbrough's checked in for the Pacers. Paul George comes in for Lance Stevenson. Hansbrough, that's good.
Neither team having any trouble putting the ball in the basket.
Nope, nada. I mean, we haven't seen much defense either. I mean, both of these teams really locked in and trying to outscore each other.
Young dishes to Bynum. Stuffs it through.
Kevin, I think he's got to demand the ball. They need him to be more aggressive if they're going to take control of this game.
Holiday against Hill. Granger outside. It's back to Hill. 6 on the shot clock. And Hansbrough kicks to Hill. From deep. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Young's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Back to Holiday. To take the lead. Gets it to go. Holiday's got 4 points this quarter.
Just an unbelievable display of offense here today.
Well, it seems like every shot that goes up finds its way to the hoop. I mean, every player is sharp and on target.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, the head coach for the Pacers, had some instruction for his guys during that break. They've been getting torched with all these shots from long range, and he simply said, we can't lose track of their shooters, guys. We're over-helping inside, and it's leaving them wide open. Can they make the adjustment, guys?
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Jason Richardson, he's checked in for the 76ers. So it's Philadelphia now. It's a 1-point game. Bynum, fended by West. The jump hook, and it's Bynum getting it to go in.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, you'd like to see a little more out of the defense. So how about trying, guys?
West setting the pick for George. 1:51 left in the fourth quarter. Got it. Good job in the low post.
Well, it's been a tale of 2 halves, hasn't it, guys? After a terrible first half, he's really picking it up.
To the paint. Deflects the pass. Young passes to Bynum. Richardson dishes to Bynum. Holiday. 5 on the clock. The feed to Richardson. Over George. And there's Richardson. That's good on the assist by Holiday.
Just adds to what has already been a great day for him.
Hill against Holiday. West to screen on Holiday. Hill kicks it to West. And Hill backs him in. Outside for George. This one for three. Offensive rebound. Last passes to George. Another shot, and that one's good. George has got 17 points here in the second half.
Well, he's getting it warmed up now after that cold first half.
Roy Hibbert's checked in for Tyler Hansbrook. Here's Richardson. Outside Holiday. Richardson against George. Here's Bynum. It's good!
And that had to feel good.
Yeah, he exhaled as that one went down.
Holiday against Hill. Outside, George. Left side, George. Money!
Well, he took that defender head on and threw down the two-hander power jam.
Straight power there, guys.
You gotta love his determination.
George, no good on the free throw. Lot is on the line here.
Well, how about the intensity and focus of the crowd here?
So loud in this place. Turner. It's in!
That bucket was absolutely huge. A defensive stop can seal the deal.
Here's George.
Got it! And that shot sucked the life out of the whole building.
Well, that was a big one, Clark. You can hear it.
Yeah, that was a gut punch right there. These fans, oh man, they're struggling.
Holiday goes in. Over Hill. No good. So a close game sees Indiana take this one. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Paul George.